All right. Welcome to Senior Trey Smith. If you have questions for Trey, please hit the raise your hand function and we'll call on you. We'll start with David Pascal.
Hey, Trey, have you kind of thought about what Saturday's going to be like?
Yeah, Saturday is definitely going to be an emotional day for me. Last night to play at Neyland Stadium, just definitely want to go out with a bang in that aspect, just playing my best ball. It's definitely going to be an emotional day.
What do you think you're going to take from this year? I mean, obviously the record isn't what you wanted it to be, but you've learned a lot and been through a lot. What do you think you'll take from this year?
Quite frankly, I think that nothing in life really is going to be that hard. I've been through a lot of tough seasons here, a lot of tough situations, on and off the field, and here I am still standing. As a team, we're still standing as well. So just knowing that really nothing in life can stop me.
David Ubben, then Gustavo.
Trey, there's been no on-campus recruiting this season. For the players, what has that kind of been like where you aren't hosting guys, you aren't seeing guys around the facility, that aspect, when that part of sort of the fall is missing? What has that been like?
For players, it's not that big of a deal for us. It's just business as usual. We're just coming to football every day, get our film sessions and just sort of being uninterrupted in a way. I think that really impacts the coaches a lot more than players per se, because obviously they have to bring in recruits, communicate with families, and I know it has to be absolutely tough, not having those people in person, be able to see them, talk to them, communicate, and build those relationships.
Trey, Saturday is going to be a special day for you, senior day, but also a game that can change the course of the college football playoff. As Texas A&M is fighting for a spot, did that change something for you to think that the game on Saturday, it means even for you as a player, but for the whole college football, playoff?
Yeah, this game this weekend is going to be an extremely big deal, like you alluded to earlier. You see what happened the Florida LSU game this past weekend. Anything can change in circumstance. I know A&M knows that as well. So they'll be coming in playing with their best A game, put on a great performance. In the same breath, we have to come prepared because, once again, they're one of the top 5 teams in the country. They're a very talented group, especially in the defensive line. So facing them, it's going to be a great challenge for us and something we have to be prepared for.
Blake, then Brent.
I know when you decided to come back for this season, it was kind of twofold. You wanted to get your degree, and then you also wanted to improve on some things to help your stock. You got the degree. In what areas do you think you've maybe improved this year, or helped your stock going forward?
Yeah, that's pretty simple. You look at my medical situation, which is one of the main factors why I returned as well. I think I've definitely nullified any issues with that, practicing more. Obviously, I'm playing a full season as well without any major injuries or issues as well. Medical situation is absolutely perfect and clear, so I definitely think I improved my stock coming back. Just sort of taking those what-ifs off the table even more with NFL teams in the future.
Do you think that's been put to bed? Do you think it has been taken off the table? You think you've done what you needed to do there?
Well, I hope so, but if it's not, it's definitely going to be taken care of when I go through those evaluations and different processes that they're going to have to go through. Once again, we have a great medical team here, especially with Dr. Klink and the plan we developed and being way more flexible with it than we ever have been. And quite frankly, it's gone extremely smooth. It's gone great. No issues whatsoever. So moving forward, it shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. The team's looking forward to drafting me.
Thanks.
No problem.
2 questions. One, how would you describe your Tennessee career overall if you were describing it to somebody out there who hadn't watched it for every day for the last 4 years? And 2, when you came here, I know you guys had big goals for this program. How do you feel like you're leaving this program in terms of the status and the health of this program as you close out your career?
Yeah, I would definitely describe my career as tough. From a personal standpoint, the things I've had to go through, sort of expectations every season. And, sometimes we meet and sometimes we don't. That's obviously tough to go through as well. I think just being resilient, just going through a lot of different things. I know Riley Locklear and I, we always talk about it, how when we first stepped on campus, we had a different O-line coach, and then we had coaching changes as well. It hasn't always been perfect, but at the end of the day, I love this university. I love this program. And, just trying to fight every day for it, trying to be the best person you can be for it, trying to be the best player I can be for it. It's not always an easy predicament, easy situation, but it's something I'm willing to fight for every day, and I have fought for it every day. Just going forward, we just have to keep fighting and just make this place better.
How would you describe the health of the program as you close out your career here the last few weeks?
We're still fighting. I don't know what else I'm going to tell you. We're coming to work every day, regardless of what critics or other people have to say about us. At the end of the day, we know the job we have to do. We know what we have to do to be successful, and we have to execute better. We have to be more detailed and more accountable with everything we do.
Patrick Brown, then Ben McKee.
Trey, kind of following up on some of what you just said, what do you want your legacy to be as you leave this program? How do you kind of want people to remember Trey Smith playing for Tennessee? How do you hope people kind of look back at your career and view you?
I want to look back. I want people to think, it's a guy who basically, cared about his university, cared about playing football here, loves his school, and, didn't let adversity stop him from becoming what he's going to be one day. And so when I say that, I mean being successful, having a football career, receiving my degree like I already did, but, also playing on the next level, because at the end of the day, last year, really about 2 years ago, no one thought I'd be standing at this podium. No one thought I'd still be talked about. No one thought I would still be playing football. So just bringing that level of toughness every day, not really caring what other people say, just coming to work and knowing, believing in God and believing in myself, believing in what I'm supposed to be.
Trey, over the last couple of games, we've seen younger linemen play, Cooper and Javontes. What have you seen from those guys?
Yeah, Cooper's my boy. I sit next to him in the meeting room. Obviously, Kay is his big brother, but I feel like that's my little brother too, in a sense of the word. Cooper he has a bright future ahead of him. Talking about a guy who's extremely athletic. In terms of like knowledge of the game, it's increasing by the day, really increasing by the week. He's been very impressive in how he's had to deal with things, having to come in this late in the season. I know he played a lot of tight end in the beginning, didn't work as much center, and having to come in and step up for the role he has to play right now. It's extremely impressive. I'm extremely proud of him, man. But Javontes, he has a great work ethic. He tries to do the right things when he comes to work day in and day out. I think the future is extremely bright in terms of younger offensive linemen on this team and what they can bring in the future.
Back to David Oven.
Yeah, Trey, you mentioned that things are pretty much back to normal. What does your week look like right now in terms of practice?
I'm practicing every day. That's pretty much what it is right now. So, it's a blessing to go from where I was last year to this point now.
Eric King.
Trey, obviously you've been a guy that a lot of younger players have looked up to the last couple of years. Who were some of those juniors and seniors that you looked up to your first year back in 2017?
Yeah, I think that's an easy question, man. Without a doubt, Jay Sean Robertson really showed me the ropes, really taught me most of what I know in terms of how to play, work ethic, how to be that guy. I would say Brett Kendrick was pretty influential as well. Playing next to him, being my tackle for the majority of the 2017 season, sort of relying on both those guys as veterans on both sides of me at the time, just sort of mentoring me how to play, what the play is, how we're going to do certain things, what's required in certain situations, how we're going to be successful. But I know big kudos to Jay Sean. I was actually in town a couple weeks ago, so it was awesome to catch back up to him.
Trey Wallace, then Vince Farrar.
Hey Trey, if you put thought into playing in any type of postseason bowl game like the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl, take for instance, anything like that, have you been invited by them, or are you waiting to make a decision?
Yeah, at this point, I'm just focusing on this 2020 season. Not really looking forward into the future right now. I'm just trying to focus on the task at hand, which is playing A&M. They have an extremely talented front, so I'm getting ready for that and preparing for that.
Well, Trey asked my question, so Trey, I'll ask you: what specifically do you see in Texas A&M?
They're just some gifted guys in the interior, especially. It's gonna be a big challenge. I know the younger guy, number 35, freshman, is watching him. He has good get off, good power, good initial explosiveness out of his stance. They have another guy, I think his name's Peavy. He's very athletic, does some really good things. They have a lot of different twist games as well. I don't know number 5's name, but he's a highly touted guy. You see him flash a lot on film. So it's going to be a really big challenge up front, especially in the interior. Talking about a very talented Texas A&M team. They played a lot of good football this year, so it's going to be an extreme challenge up front.
Last two questions, Patrick Brown and Dan Harrelson.
Trey, I don't know how much time you've necessarily had to reflect on your career, but if you had to pick one or two of your favorite moments from your time at Tennessee, what would those be?
I would think my first game ever here when we played Georgia Tech. That was really cool, man. I think we went into overtime. I don't think it was double. We just went into overtime. Just winning that game in the fashion we did, that was a really cool moment for me, especially being a freshman. I think we were like the second team to play in the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta as well. So that was a really cool moment. I can't really narrow down to two. I probably three. Beating Auburn at Auburn in 2018, a game no one expected us to win, and then also bring in the South Carolina game last year. Just winning in that fashion, that was a ton of fun.
Dan?
Trey, you're talented and gifted enough throughout your time at Tennessee to play throughout the entire offensive line. When you're looking at the next level, is there a specific position that you would like to play at the next level, or just really wherever you can plug in and just help a team?
Yeah, that's the thing. At the next level, man, you can only travel with so many old linemen, and you only get so many opportunities. So whatever position they put me in, I have to play the best regardless of how I feel or where I want to play. I'm going to be prepared for that situation regardless, and I'm ready to accept that challenge. So I have no preference. I just want to play. I want to be successful in the NFL.
All right. Thank you, Trey.